the San Diego County District Attorney's Office, the San Diego County Superior Court System. Locally, as a child, I played local sports, things like Twin Hills, local schools, St. Michael's, Morris High School, Kearney High School, Bell Junior High. I wasn't very good in some of the sports I played there, but I did attend there and I played locally there. So I'm known in the community as being a volunteer, a real estate professional, and just one of the neighborhood guys that grew up to when they run for city council. Thank you.
Senior pastor of the United Missionary Baptist Church. I've been pastoring there for the past 11 years. I'm a native of San Diego. I grew up in this neighborhood and went to Lincoln High School, went to Emerson Elementary, and also went to Southwestern College. What makes me different from all the other candidates? One is that I have a passion for this neighborhood. I've been serving this neighborhood for the past 35 years. We started a program called Triple Prime, community-based agency that works with adults and high-risk youth. We feel that the youth of our community is a valuable resource that we have to get under control in this neighborhood. One of the things that makes me stand out from all the others is the fact that I believe in what I'm doing. I believe it's important for that person, that right person to get downtown that has the information that would benefit our community as a whole, not just for the African American community, but for all people that are located in the 4th Council District. The thing that I feel that is so important is making sure that the information that we receive about the candidate has enough information for you to choose and make the right decision in regards to who you're going to select for your next council. I think it's highly important, highly positive to know that the one that's downtown will control the resources that come into our 4th Council District. It has been a travesty over the years that we have not been receiving the resources that we all have. Let me find examples. There's 368 potholes in the 4th Council District. But when you go to other neighborhoods, you find out there's only 35 and 45 in those neighborhoods. Well, why is it that we're just not getting the service that we ought to get from downtown? One reason is because the person's not screaming loud enough and making enough noise to make sure that we need in our district. It's important that the person who gets in there is going to stand and will not be bought by any special interest group, will not be bought by anybody who thinks they can buy the district. We believe that we as a person, as a group, as an organization, as a 4th district has to make a decision that's going to be best representing the 4th Council District. That's what I'm asking for your support.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Monica Montgomery, running for the 4th District City Council seat. I'm an attorney by trade. I've been practicing law for about 5 years now, fighting for the rights of 4th District residents and also residents citywide. I am running because I believe that we can maintain or gain economic growth through innovative ideas. I also believe that the leader that this district chooses needs to have integrity, not only in this process, but in their own life. And I also believe that it's very important that the leader that you all choose can inspire others to be a part of the political process as well. Because whoever is elected cannot do it alone. There are so many avenues in our community, such as community council groups, nonprofit organizations, that if we can come together on some of these issues, we can be the best district in the city of San Diego. I believe that I possess that ability to bring others together. I'm multidimensional. I'm an attorney, but I was raised humbly. I have my own business, but I also have an opportunity to work at City Hall and be involved in the community in our district. So with all of this experience, I'm very excited about this race. I believe that I am the best representative, and I hope that you listen intently today in making your decision to choose that representative. Thank you.
My name is Moses Escalon. I am a parent here in this district. I have 6 children. I have a boy at Lincoln High School, one just graduated last year. I am a pest control technician. I've done construction most of my life, but work varies. I've been doing human rights for the last 4 years since they opened up Lincoln High School. They have a social justice department. And that's when I learned that it's up to us to take charge of our own future. We cannot let the politicians for the last 50 years or 200 years in this city keep doing what they're doing. I am the only one here who was is one of 14 that was running for the mayor's office. As you know, you never heard about us. We weren't invited to anything. So these politicians are going to be doing the same thing over and over for the next 200 years. Unless we make a change and we stand up for our rights. If we don't do it, nobody else is going to do it. All right? Martin Luther King has a dream. And it's up to us to make it happen. It's not going to happen by itself. You know? And that's this with Malcolm X. He left us a legacy to live by. And we're living it. You know what I mean? It's up to us to make it come true. It's up to us to make everything they left for us. It's not just to read it in the books. It's not just for us to just, look at it on TV and or watch it. No, we're living it. We're not going to make any changes unless we come together and march. I am one of 50,000 who marched for Obama downtown. There's 3 million in this city. Where's everybody else? My voice to make solar happen in every house, in every building, it doesn't matter who I am. That's what I'm saying. That's what's coming out of my heart. That's where we're going. It's up to us to make it happen. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I want to begin by apologizing for a lack of tie in my tennis shoes, but I was out walking door to door before I came here today. I hope that's what you want us to do, is to be accessible to you. My name is Dwayne Crenshaw. You probably heard my name before because I ran before. Folks say, Dwayne, why the hell would you do this again? In 2002, they said you were a drug dealer. That wasn't true. In 2004, they said you were too gay. I'm gay, I'm too gay. That was true. Well, I'm running for this district to take a pay cut from my current job because this is my community. Because I love this community, and I've been here all my life. I'm a former school teacher who taught at my former elementary school in Warrenton, over at Johnson Elementary School in Kimberly Hills, where I grew up. I'm a nonprofit community leader, work for the Jacobs Family Foundation. On the team from day one, we built Market Creek Plaza. So I love President Obama. Look at my piece there. You'll see that. I have a picture. We both had less gray hair back then, and I was a little fatter. I lost a few pounds. But I've been there from day one with Obama and Democrats for a fair shot for all people in our community. And we built our Creek Plaza to bring a grocery store to our community for the first time in 25 years. I remember when Big Bear shut down, and when Carson Communications was the old drive-in movie theater. Remember that? We fought for jobs in this community. So the difference in this campaign is about, we're all going to talk about the same things, but the record results. I have a record of really creating jobs with Market Creek Plaza, bringing services and businesses to our community. Over at Coalition Neighborhood Councils, Tubman Child Center was shut down. You remember that? I got our fair share to reopen Tubman Child Center and make that a private community center again. And we worked with high school dropout kids and gang-affiliated kids to get them back into school and their diplomas and into college for the jobs. We put 250 kids to work in the summer of 2008. Not because the money was given to us. In fact, the money was not given to us by the Workforce Partnership. We went to fight because there was nowhere in South San Diego that received money. We got that, and we put our kids to work. And every guy said, Steve Pierce, where's Mr. Walters? I know Steve Walters at PCS, and at Business Matters, and Community Jobs. I've done that. And then on safety, we didn't get our fair share for sidewalks and streetlights. I went and fought for that money with Brady Children's Hospital. We did safe routes to schools, and we worked on those issues. So I'm a lawyer by training. I don't practice like Monica Montgomery. I worked at City Hall. I know how this works. I have the commitment to serve my community and the experience and the real results you can rely on to get the job done. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Myrtle Cole. And first of all, thank you for being here. I know you could do some other things with your salaries. It's nice outside, but thank you for being here. W6, thank you for hosting this. This is great. I am a former police lieutenant. I'm currently a home care health advocate, working with families that provide care for the elderly, the disabled in their homes. We have 22,000 home care providers in San Diego County. About 2,000, if not more, live in this community. And I work with them, and I've been working with them for the past 5 years. I've also worked with late Deputy Mayor George Stevens with affordable housing, worked with my brother, Council Member Charles Lewis, worked with different city officials like John Hartley, like Christine Kehoe, like Tony Atkins. And also, not only did I work for Tony Young, I did his campaign, got him elected, worked on his staff, and the brother now is moving on. So we're going to make sure that we have somebody in office that carries out the vision to me of the late Deputy Mayor George Stevens. Also, the passion of Charles Lewis. Charles Lewis had a vision for this district. That vision was Gaslamp East. I talked to Tony Young yesterday and said, can we complete that vision? And he says, yes, we can. We have a community plan update that has been funded that will address the Imperial Corridor so we can make Gaslamp East a reality so that we could also improve market. So we need to do things. I've been like Dwayne since last week, walking door to door, walking to the voters and asking them, what do you want us to do? I don't have sidewalks. My street is unsafe because we don't have sidewalks. My kids play out in the street. We have speeding on the street. We have potholes on the street. We have cracks, broken sidewalks. We need sidewalks. We need those repaired. And that's what every single voter has said. So I did that last week. I did this morning. And those are the issues that our voters and our residents want to address. The little things that we have neglected. Besides bringing economic development into this community by bringing jobs into this community, there's some other things. Shopping centers. Some people like Gloria Cruz and Merle, how about a Marshalls? How about a Ross? Can we have those? Yes, we can. We just have to work on it. And I'm going to work with the mayor to make sure that happens because he said, neighborhoods first. Neighborhoods first. And I'm going to hold him to that. I have been endorsed by Assemblymember Shirley Weber. I have been endorsed by Assemblymember Majority Leader Tony Atkins, by also Christine Kehoe, the Senator Christine Kehoe, by Assemblymember Ben Hueso, by Richard Herrera, school board member, by Kevin Miser, and also by the person that we know that worked in this community for a long time. So you know what? It's just not enough to say, this is what we're going to do, but they think that I can hit the ground running. David Alvarez also is the person that walked neighborhoods with me last week, so he loves this community. He has been walking with me in this community, and we're going to make sure that this district and the neighborhoods are safe. That's what our goal is, making them safe, making them walkable. And with your help, and with the help of the people that have endorsed me, they said that I can hit the ground running. I can hit the ground running because I have the experience of city council, and I just need your support, your vote to do it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, family. My name is Rafael Bautista. Obviously, I'm running for council. However, I haven't been running for months or years or decades. The reason why I decided to do this is because I feel like there's an obligation for the community to step past politics. It's been so long since we've had somebody that's trying to be true, trying to be honest, trying to do the right thing. And as we can tell by, our councilman that just quit on us, some people just do it for the money. I don't need the money. I need us to get empowered. I need us to grow. I need our communities to get better. Right now, I apologize for running late. I was getting a young brother who told me that today's a beautiful day. He asked me how I was feeling. Told them that I was feeling good. So I'm gonna ask you guys, how are you guys feeling? For sure. You know, we have life, we have, you know, bright sunny sky today. And, you know, sitting down, you know, with his brother Sherry, he was telling me, you know, let's be thankful for what we have, you know, what we have, you know, and something that really struck me is he's a young cat. He was telling me, you know, power, encouragement. He was telling me good words. And more than anything, I think our community needs leaders just like him. The point of me running is to empower leaders just like him. I want the community to grow. I want community groups to back me. I want them not to just back me in running, but if I get in there, when I do get in there, I want them to be right there by my side. I don't need, you know, the developers to be in my pockets. You know, we've had that for too long, you know. If we're gonna do development, we gotta do it the right way. We can't have people be displaced, recolonized, and moved out of our district because they can't afford to live here. Actually, out of our cities, right? You know, our black population has decreased in our district, and unfortunately, it has a lot to do with politics. I'm sick of it. You know, that's why I'm running. I don't want your money. You know, all I need is for you to know that we have needs that are not being met. We have needs that we have to fight for. You know, not only in the streets, you know, but if we get in there, we're gonna fight for them till death. You know, that's the point. Just like the heroes of our past, you know, the MLKs, the Malcolm X's. I believe that, you know, human equality is absolutely necessary for all of us to progress. It's past the time of, you know, getting ahead for ourselves. We get ahead together. So I'm here for you guys. I'm not here for myself. If you guys want to be there, you know, I need you guys in my ear. I need you guys in my corner. Of course, all the females. We're all equal people. Thank you for, you know, being out here, for taking the steps into getting involved, and hopefully I get to, you know, meet most of you and do something good for our community. Thank you.
All right, now it's time for questions. We got 3 minutes on each question. I'm going to stop you if you go past that 3 minutes. We'll start this question off first for Monica Montgomery. What would you consider to be the 3 most important issues facing our community? How would you handle this issue?
So, stand up in 3 minutes real quick. The 3 cornerstones that I believe make a prosperous community are: number 1, economic development; number 2, education; and number 3, public safety. As far as economic development is concerned, what we need to do in the 4th District is concentrate on redevelopment, to build businesses and anchor stores. The way we can do that, the scope has changed, by the way. The state legislature has passed a law, I believe it's AB 26, that has dissolved our redevelopment agencies, which is how we used to redevelop our district. But what happens now is the state has taken authority of that. So we would need someone with innovative ideas to grasp money from different areas, because it won't all be coming from redevelopment, to get the money that we need to build and attract anchor stores to our community. That is where I believe legal expertise would come in, because the law has changed so much. Okay, what we also need to focus on is our existing small businesses. We do have a diamond BID in our district. Business improvement districts are councils that are used to facilitate better small business all around the world. We have one here. We need to provide more resources so that our small businesses that are existing have a place to go to pull their assets. Another thing that we would need to do as far as economic development is to encourage other small businesses to come to the 4th District, because we know that businesses bring jobs. Businesses bring opportunities for our residents. So those are 3 ways that for economic development. I'll go over public safety and education when I have more time.
All right, thanks, Monica. Those same calls, that same question to Ray.
I think one of the things, I think one of the things that we suffer with in this community, and some of the same sentiments that Monica had shared with us, is business as well as public safety. But my platform will deal directly, first of all, with public safety. I think it's important that we understand the value of working with the neighborhood as a collective group. Just recently, I had a chance to attend a funeral with Richard, a white young man was shot and killed off Albany. But prior to that, we had another shooting that happened across the street from Lincoln High School. Prior to that, we had a shooting that happened on Meadowbrook and Shady Glade. One of the things that I asked a couple of police officers was, tell me why is it that we can't catch the kids who's doing the shooting in our neighborhood versus the shooting going in other neighborhoods. Just recently, remember, we had a young lady who was murdered in Living Grove. The very next day, they caught that person in where? Up in Oregon. Up in Oregon. Well, how is it that they can catch that guy in Oregon? But yet we've had killings here, we just can't catch what's going on there. In the past 3 years, we've had 197 shootings in our neighborhood. But 197 shootings, 68 of those are killed. Why is it? What's going on in our neighborhood? Why we can't catch these guys who do the shooting? Well, one of the issues that we suffer with in our community in regards to jobs. I did a survey. We have 39 stores in the 4th Council District. 39 stores. Out of 39 stores in the 4th Council District, we have 741 jobs. Out of 741 jobs, only 11 of those jobs are African Americans. But yet you want our kids to live in the neighborhood, die in the neighborhood, but we can't work in the neighborhood. I think it's so unfair when you look at the major picture of making sure that we get businesses in our community that will not only hire our kids, but also invest in our children. For example, Cox Cable. Many of you know Cox Cable? Cox Cable have been in that particular area for better than 35 years. They moved down from federal up to here. Cox Cable has never done anything for the 4th Council District that we know of. Think about it. Cox knows that we are having issues with education. Cox also knows we have issues with violence, but yet they have not stepped to the plate and done anything for us as a 4th district. Why? Are they concerned? Or are they just looking at the fact of getting a check from us every month? I believe that it's important when we get companies such as Cox Cable, Coca-Cola, these businesses ought to be held accountable for our neighborhoods. They ought to be accountable for what they're doing to make sure that we have a safe neighborhood. Let me give you another prime example. We're about to middle level. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We spent over $120 million building Lincoln High School. We gave Morris $115 million. We gave Knox $35 million to be a feeder school in Lincoln. We got 3 charter schools in our community. We have Keelan, we have O'Farrell, and we also have Gompers. Well, my concern is simply this. Years ago, Gompers was our feeder school at Lincoln High School, am I correct? If you're the same, Gompers was our feeder school. But now here's how it works. You gotta fill out an application in order to go to a school. But my concern is simply this. If I live in the neighborhood, I ought to have a right to go to the school that's in my neighborhood. Am I right or wrong? You should not be able to dictate, tell me what school I'm going to go to. My concern is that if we let them continue to keep doing this, we'll always have the same thing. Charter schools, I love them to death, but they should not dictate how and who they're going to pick to go to their school.
Okay, we good. All right. We're going to pose that same question. We're going to pose that same question to Raphael. I'm going to read it all over for you again if you got lost and all that. What would you consider to be the 3 most important issues facing our community? How did you handle those issues?
Okay, well, obviously with all the shootings, it is a concern. But we have to address why the shootings are happening. Why are people killing our people, right? I believe it's a lack of ownership in our communities. We have, speaking from a young perspective, we have limited futures, limited opportunities. Sorry about that. And can anybody hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Use the mic.
Sorry about that. As I was saying, you know, I think what we need, like gentleman said, we need guaranteed access to education. We need guaranteed access to higher education. We need to get programs in our high schools that are connected to our colleges, our universities, and we need to give them, our people, an opportunity to work through school or work up to get to school. You know, it's very easy to get drugged on. You know, that's a given. That's why people kill people. We need to take that and make it an incentive so that people do not pursue that income. We need to make it so that they have other venues for income. You know, if we're talking about big box stores, we're talking about minimum wage jobs. You know, we need good schools in our communities. We need to bring good teachers into our communities. We need to keep good teachers in our communities. We need to incentivize these teachers to come in our communities, empower our children, and make it so that our future is better, because in the end, it's all about our future. It's all about what's going to happen, you know, to our children and their children. You know, we're all a big collective family. You know, whether we want to see it that way or not, whatever happens to, you know, brother down the street on Valencia should affect brother down the street on Skyline. You know, that's how I feel. That's what I think is true. Other two items that, you know, I think are pressing items in our community is the fact that, you know, our kids have nothing to do. So we need to get them in some after-school programs that are training them to do something with their lives. If people's hands are active, they don't have to go out, hold a gun, hold drugs. They don't have to do all that. But obviously, we need to incentivize them. We need to show them that there is a future.
1 minute.
Furthermore, the point of what I'm trying to do is, I'm a real estate broker, and I've seen what's happened to our communities, how they've been devastated by foreclosures, and we need guaranteed shelter. We need shelter rights. We need to ensure that everybody in our community is able to own. And I don't mean, you know, able to buy, I mean able to own. Even if they happen to live in an apartment that somebody else owns, I want them to be able to own that apartment. You know, ownership over our community is very pressing, it's very important. It's something that gives you a sense of being part of that community. You know, for far too long, our people, you know, black and brown people, have been deprived from owning. It goes back to, you know, when the country was founded, you know, we needed laws in the 60s that our great leaders fought for, that ensured that we were going to be discriminated against. But those lands were still discriminated against. We need somebody in there that's going to tell them, stop discriminating against us.
37.
And, you know, that's the other problem. We're still being discriminated against. We don't have the power. We need to get that power, and I'm talking about community power. I'm not talking about me being up there as a politician. I'm not a politician. Thank you.
All right, we're going to also pose that same question to Dwayne. I get my mic back.
As I said earlier, I really want, before I dig in, ask you to focus on what we're saying and the record results. Because we can all talk about the problems. We know what they are. We need solutions. So my three issues on my brochure, our brother Booker's here, maybe you can pass them out for me. Jobs, education, and safety. On jobs, we created jobs. Construction jobs at Market Creek Plaza. We have 250 permanent jobs at Market Creek Plaza. I know there are more than 11 black folks working between Food for Less and the Starbucks. I was over there earlier today. My nephew works at Starbucks, so I know that. We created real jobs there. We created jobs for the kids who are in trouble, causing some of the violence on our streets. High school dropout kids, gang-affiliated youth. We put them back to work. We want to create jobs, we need to do business development. WDID is dead. Folks, you know that. There's no WDID anymore. We need to really invest in our businesses and create those jobs like we did at Market Creek Plaza. I have the experience, that knowledge, and that know-how to do it again. On the jobs piece, I will talk about this for a moment. Our kids, our young people, need opportunities so they don't get involved in trouble. But there's this thing that happens. I think it's a double, triple whammy. You got in trouble, you stole a Snickers bar, you smoked a little weed, or you sold some weed. Not saying that that's right. But every time you apply for a job, you have to check that box and say, I'm a felon. They're not hiring you anymore. What does it have to do if you want to be someone working in the store and you did drugs? What does that have to do with that? If you're a felon and you're a high school dropout, and you have to put that down there. You have no education, you have a background, you're never getting hired. We need to look at that and how we give people opportunities to get a second chance who've been off parole or probation for years to get a shot at a job. On education, we have charter schools. I'm not against charter schools, but the results. Lineal Tech Middle School, right next to Gompers Charter School. You may not know this story. The parents at Johnson Elementary School fought for years for that school. And when the money came from the National Science Foundation, they said, we're moving to Barrio Logan. Hell no, we said. Coalition Area Council under my leadership got parents on the buses. We went out to the school board. Gompers Charter School didn't want another middle school right next door to them. But that school, public school is there because we fought for it. That's real result of education. And I know how to do that. And then lastly, on safety, I talked to you about safe routes to school and giving money for sidewalks so our kids, and streetlights, so our kids get to and from the school safely. So yesterday I was at the King breakfast. Any of you there, Jack Robertson, YMCA? And there's been this talk about gun control. And Reverend Moss really moved me on that. And he reminded us, when people talk about the Second Amendment, we have to fight against the tyranny of the government. Dr. King didn't have a gun to fight the tyranny of the government that oppressed us for hundreds of years. He had a briefcase with the Bible and books. He didn't talk about the Second Amendment. He probably would have put them into the second chapter of Mark, which said the greatest commandment is love. And that's how he overthrew the tyranny of the government that oppressed us. We need gun control. We need to support the gun buyback programs. We need to help kids who've been in trouble to get back on the right track. I want to get the funding to put those kids in education, to get them in jobs, so they have opportunity right here in our neighborhoods, like I've already done, so we can move forward. Jobs, education, and safety. That's my agenda.
Okay. All right, thank you. Nicholas, we're going to pass that same question to you.
All right, some people are not going to like this, but we need to get rid of some of the industries that are not giving the money here. I mean, Arco, a lot of the gas stations, we can now make our own gas from water. It's called biofuels. We can make our own gas from corn. But are we farming? Do we have any tanks? Are we creating our own industries? No, because it takes money from their pockets. Okay, we had a mandate for electric cars. We can make electric cars here right now because the money was given to us for seed money. They don't want competition. They don't want us to get up ahead of them. They want us to always be in the pocket. Solar has been around for so long that we should have had a numerous amount of solar companies already here. We should be making our own. But that investment is not going to come from anywhere if we don't want it, if we don't fight for it. Martin Luther King, one of his questions was, how do we have a man, how do we give a man a job for a year? Unfortunately back then, he was working with 20 million people. Today, the Hispanic community in America is 50 million, and we're fighting for immigration reform, and we can't get it? Come on, we ourselves, if we were united, just $1 is $50 million a day. And we can legally defend every single one of them to have, a defense fund and education fund with our own money. Why do they want us to fight against each other? Because divide and conquer. As long as we are divided, they will conquer us. And that's not what Martin Luther King wanted. That's not what Martin Luther King wanted. They keep changing the laws to make it worse for us. He said, I can't remember the exact word, but he said the laws that they make are to keep us, in check pretty much. They keep on changing them to their benefit. Go to jail for weed. Marijuana has been in this continent from the initial, right? When they outlawed alcohol, they took away the outlawed alcohol, they made it marijuana. Now you put people into marijuana. That was a big industry. It can still be a big industry, and they can bring money to our own communities if we're regulating it, and we're bringing it like it used to be. Alcohol is paying taxes, marijuana can pay taxes, and jobs can be created. By biofuels, electric cars, solar, gardens, there's jobs that we can make that are going to be here forever. But they're not going to bring them in because it goes into their pockets, and it's not going to benefit them in the long run.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Myrtle?
Thank you. Being a former police officer, safety is number one for my priorities. I've implemented back in 1991, it's called the COP program, Community Oriented Policing. Did that in the 3rd Council District. It worked where what we did was, with the police officers, we went into homes, into garages, and talked to each and every person on that block and said, what is it that we need to do? And they're saying, we need neighborhood watch programs revitalized and created. So we did that. We did that in 1991. It worked. I spoke recently with Assistant Chief Cesar Solis, and he said that Myrtle, we still need to increase that program here in this 4th Council District. And that's what I plan to do, is increase this community-oriented policing program. We have it, but we need to do more of it. We need to have the police officers in our communities walking. We need storefronts, little storefronts, so that they can be visible in our community, so that our elders can feel safe walking. Those are the issues that we need to address, is safe neighborhoods, walkable neighborhoods. When I went to some homes of our elders, they said, lighting. Let's do some lighting. A young lady said, how about some cameras? Let's do some cameras. They have cameras downtown. Can we maybe do some cameras? Yes, we can. We're going to talk to the police department because they just got $2 million from the mayor's office to do a violence reduction program just recently.
Wow.
So we want to make sure that we address that first and foremost. Second would be, of course, infrastructure, your potholes. Again, your streets need to be filled, and we need sidewalks. Third is the economic development structure. We have a community plan update that was just funded. No, we don't have community development, but we have the community plan update that was just funded, where we can finish the corridor, Gaslamp East corridor, so we can finish on Market Street Plaza. We need those monies, we need those dollars to implement so that we can have and create jobs from that. The community update plan is just a wonderful plan. I will talk about it a little bit later on because I think that we don't know about it and you haven't heard about it. And we're definitely going to talk about it and get that implemented. That was a Charles Lewis vision, and I'm going to finish that vision.
All right. The microphone right here.
My three priorities would be neighborhoods, education, and economic development. When you invite someone over before they get there, you straighten things up, And when it comes to economic development, we need to straighten up so that businesses and other people can feel like they're welcome to come to our neighborhood. How do we do that? Through our neighborhoods. In our neighborhoods, we need to have our streets taken care of, infrastructure. Not only do I ride on the streets, but I help to get the potholes filled on our streets. And not only that, but when it comes to infrastructure, I want you to think about Skyline Drive. That $800,000 program, that infrastructure program was something that Mayor Fielder, when he was a congressman, provided the funding for that. And myself, along with residents, community planning group members, we looked that over to make sure that it would fit our neighborhood. I've been on the planning group I served on the planning group for 8 years. I was the vice president. If anyone knows about a community plan update, it would be myself. Okay, I was here, going to Canto planning group meetings, going to Eastern Area planning group meetings, and all of the other planning group meetings, Skyline, Paradise Hills. And so that would be one of my first priorities, because if a developer or a merchant or a business wants to come into our district, they want to be able to know what the rules are when it comes to development. And so currently, our community plan is so outdated
And now that we have the money, we need to make sure that it gets implemented. When it comes to public safety, I believe that government, the first priority of government is public safety. And so it's important that we have plenty of police on the street, that we recently, I think up to this far, we've gotten 4 academy classes of cadets that have gone through to come on the streets of San Diego. And that's because, we've worked hard to provide funding for that. And so public safety, education is important. It's important that we work with our new trustee, Martin Foster, not only because Martin knows a lot about our education system. And if we don't have, if we do not have good education in our district, then the kids won't be able to come back and, work in our district. So let's work for good education, public safety, and our neighborhoods. Let's make sure that our neighborhoods are good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bruce. You know what? I'm just going to pop shot a lot of these questions. I'm going to ask 10 of these different questions. We'll do 2 minutes. We got a little bit of time, and we want to make sure people are able to actually give your voice, okay? So I'm going to start off with the question, what is your plan of action regarding the current situation at the CNC? So Tony, we'll give that to you.
I'll just have to,
Yes, it's on.
I'll just have to take a sweeping broad answer with that one. I believe that we in the 4th district need to wake up, start to fight, and defend ourselves. This district 4 is the last district in the entire city that's affordable. The last district in the entire city where people outside of our city can come in and buy homes for the first time, start up businesses, do redevelopment.
The current situation on the CNC.
It's my answer, man.
I'm telling you, we were asking you about the current situation on the CNC. Sorry.
It's obvious that I don't know at this time what the current situation of the CNC is. If I'm allowed to, if I'm able to get elected, I've surrounded myself with great volunteers. A lot of people are going to say, Tony, are you experienced? Can you get going on the first day? What does that mean? What does that mean that we want somebody who's up and running the first day? Does that mean that I align and support myself with Todd Gordon as an open door policy with members of my volunteer staff? Is that what that means? That I can get going in that sense? If I can pass the question to some people here that are on my volunteer staff, we can get that real policy answer that we would be looking for. But obviously I don't know. I didn't prepare for that question.
Thank you anyway. All right, we'll pose this next question to Monica. Are you in support of more minority contracting with the city? If so, how would you help a minority contractor receive more city contracts?
Yes, I am in support of more minority contractors receiving contracts from the city of San Diego. I myself have served as counsel for Government Construction Services, was in the trenches in the when this became a big part of the debate as to whether minority contractors were qualified to receive the contracts. Testified before the Citizens Equal Employment or Equal Opportunity Commission in regard to the minority contracts being at a 0.2%, I believe, at that time. What has happened since then is Dr. Weber had been appointed to that commission and worked with the engineering department at the city of San Diego in order to provide more opportunity for minority contractors. One of the major focuses of my plan would be to help minority businesses be certified with the city of San Diego. It's a strenuous process, but it can be done. I've been able to certify quite a few businesses with the city that it has been beneficial to them. But another thing is, if they don't hear from us, they don't think that we care or they can make excuses. There's another way that we can come together and testify before those boards. Let them know what's going on in our community. We want more contracts. We know that it's possible, and that's what we need to do. I would advocate for that. And also, just real quick on the Diamond BID, I don't believe that it's dead. As a small business owner, I know how important it is to have support. That is one area where small businesses would receive support from the city of San Diego. It is already set up. All it needs is resources. It is not dead, and as a small business owner, we need innovative ideas from small businesses as well as grant funders such as the Jacobs and other people. But Diamond BID is a way that we can take control of our neighborhood through our small businesses. Thank you.
I want to say something about the Diamond BID. Diamond BID is still here. The president is right back there. It was reformed, Steve Walters. So the Diamond BID is still alive, okay? So if you guys didn't know that, now you know. Ray Smith, we're going to go ahead and ask that same question with Monica.
First of all, I want to correct Dwayne on something he said in regards to the stores. I said that there were 39 grocery stores. I'm not talking about Starbucks. Okay? Starbucks is not a grocery store. Okay? 39 stores. Amen.
Okay, that's good.
What you said. I do believe that CNC is a vital program for our district. I think it's important. I will definitely support that program. I also believe that the VIG is important. Only because of the fact that it will provide not only jobs, but also provide development for this community. We need development for this community because once we get the development, we'll have jobs. The bottom line is that we've never had the development for our area based on the fact either the lack of resources or the vision of the community is just not where it should be. Maybe another prime example, we can talk about that. When you look at the small businesses, how important it is, it's so important because the small businesses hire those folks who allows them to be in the community and also provide an opportunity for them to learn a trade or to learn something in regards to employment. So when you look at that, we're looking at downtown, not only provide opportunities and resources for us, but also provide some type of direction for us. There's plenty of resources out here. Another prime example. Most of them know that the CRA, which is Community Reinvestment Act, is a program that's designed for banks to invest in our communities. Union Bank has not invested in our community. David National Bank has not invested in our community. Even U.S. Bank has not invested in our community. But they've been mandated by the federal government to invest and give back into our community, and they've gotten away with it. They've gotten away with it. So in order for us to make jobs available for us, we've got to get those who are responsible to help bring jobs to our community and hold them accountable for the work that they need to do in our community.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to pose this next question to Bruce. We're having this election as a result of our last councilman not finishing his commitment with the community. Would you be willing to sign a memorandum of understanding that the community puts together for your commitment for the community? Did you understand that? Well, you sign an MOU for the community with the memorandum of understanding of your commitment with that community puts together.
If I agree with all the things in the memorandum our former council member, Tony Young, was elected, and he did a great job in the minds of many people. He left early, but he yet served 8 years, if you think about it. And that is the number of years that an elected official that is elected to the city council is to serve, 4 years per term. And so Tony came on to finish up Charles's term, and then he ran again. So he ended up with 8 years, which is what the council would do. But I would, if elected, turn the page. I know many people disagree with my former boss, but I'd like to turn the page and do even more to improve our community. I'm going to work hard for public safety. I'm going to work hard for education. The city really does not have jurisdiction of education. We need to work together with those that are in charge of education. We can do lots of things. Not just education for our youth, but for our seniors as well. Let's think about bringing UCSD and USD and San Diego State to have satellite programs in the area. Let's not only do that, but we can have internships down at City Hall. Make sure that our young people, have an opportunity to actually go into various departments to get a taste of work before, so that they can be interested in that work once they finish. So, yes, I would work hard to complete this term and finish the next 2 terms if the people elect me. Thank you.
Okay, we'll pose that same question to you, Myrtle. Would you sign a memorandum of understanding for the community at the community draft session? For your community?
Absolutely. Again, knowing Deputy Mayor George Stevens, knowing the passion, the heart that he had for his district, the love that he had for his district, knowing the late council member Charles Lewis, and knowing the vision that he had, absolutely. I'm doing this to finish their vision. I don't need a job, I have one that pays good. I want to do this because I want to finish the vision. That's why I did talk to the former council member Tony Young to talk about the community plan. What is happening on Imperial with the Gasline East project. So I know about the community plan update because I want to finish the visions not only that Charles had, but George had. And I plan to do that. And yes, I will sign it. Any other? I'm sorry. Any other questions?
No, that's it. All right. Okay. We'll pose this to Raphael. What is your vision for the 4th district?
My vision is unity, we all know that things are changing, there's a 40% Latino majority now, there's a 20% African American population in the district. We can only progress if we do it together, The point of why I'm running is because we are taken advantage of, the most oppressed are always most oppressed. And what I want to see is for us to be on an equal plateau, as the rest of the city. They can't, just look at the 4th district and say, they're not going to do anything, they don't have any power. We need to show them that we are powerful people, but we can only be powerful if we're all together. So my vision is, prosperity through unity, Obviously we already talked about education, getting our kids off the streets. I want us to own our district, and I'm not saying, tenants and stuff like that. I want us to own our district.
1 minute.
And just really fast, the reason why I'm running is because, I feel this is a duty, to empower the community. Obviously, Tony Young quit on us, and although he served 8 years, he took an oath that he was going to do the remaining 4. We don't want to see that again. We don't want somebody to be bribed or offered $300,000 to leave us again. We need us to stay there, and like I told you, if I get in there with the community's help, I want the community to be there right there next to me. That's the only way to do it. Thank you.
All right, Nicholas, we will pose that same question to you. What is your vision for the 4th district?
My vision is to create cooperation among our neighborhoods, our neighbors, our friends, our family. We know we're losing houses. We know we don't have legal defense. We know our kids don't have funds to go to school. These are problems that we can take care of. We are not in the redevelopment stage of the last 50 years, nowhere comparable to Coronado. There's no reason for them to be using our money. We're not making the money like Petco Park, they use redevelopment money. Downtown is using redevelopment money. I mean, Coronado has their own. They're wealthy enough to pay for their own needs. Our taxes should stay in our communities, to our kids and our neighbors. Our legal defense does not exist. Foreclosure should not be going on right now because they're a bunch of crooks. We know what they did. So we are allowing this to happen. Immediately, we need to start using a legal defense to protect our own neighbors and friends. Unfortunately, the way the system works, they are all in cahoots, all right, from the top to the bottom. They're not going to go to jail. They're not going to serve any time. But if you get caught in the street for any petty crime, we're going to jail so they can make money off of us in jail, all right? It's called creative. We are the victims of creative suffering, which is what Martin Luther King said. They are creating laws to keep us in jail so they can make more money. It's all about the money. So first of all, we need to unite into groups and start making a difference for our own communities and our neighbors.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to be, do we have any time for round robin? Okay, we're going to need everybody that want to ask questions. We'll have somebody come around and pick this up.